What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. And today we have Airline Collectible Haul number 2 for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, as today we're going to be taking a look at airline collectibles from the LAX Airline One-Day Collectibles show that took place on January 20th, 2024. So I really hope each and every one of you are excited for this. We got a bunch to take a look at here from some really cool flight miniatures. Got some 1-400s there in the middle, even a couple 1-200s there in the back. Then we'll take a look at all the memorabilia from the actual flights. So really excited to take a look at this, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. So let's just go ahead and I'll show you guys briefly the models first, because these will be getting their own video, so feel free to check that out when that comes out. But let's go ahead and talk about the model aircraft that we got here. Again, I'll just briefly show them, and again, you can expect a more detailed video on these here in the near future. We have a Hogan 1-200 Southwest 737-300 right here with landing gear. I got an insane deal from a guy that was at the LAX Collectible Show, which by the way was an amazing turnout, super fun, so can't recommend the LAX One-Day Collectible shows enough. The next one will be on June 1st, 2024, as we'll take a look at. But nevertheless, here's the Canyon Blue 737-300 Arizona 1. Got an absolutely insane deal. So he brought in a cardboard box that was really big. It was huge. And he just had all these flight miniatures for the most part, but some SkyMarks and Hogans in there. And he was just, it just started selling off. And I heard a rumor that they were $10 each. So I was like, well, that's an incredible deal. So definitely gonna have to buy some of these. Well, it turns out that I brought him all 7 of these that you see in the frame right here. I brought him all of these, and I asked how much they won for all of them. He wanted $40 for all these, which personally, I think the Air India, AirTran, and American are worth $40 by themselves. So the fact that we got all this for $40 is crazy. That's about $5 per model. So personally, an absolute steal in my opinion, and very pleased with the progression of getting these in the LAX One-Day Collectible Show. Due to all the personal vendors that they have, had a really great deal. Some of the personal vendors did, so it was really awesome to take advantage of that and get some new flight miniatures like this United 737-300 in the Battleship Gray livery. Again, really nice. Love the livery, and it looks really good. Also like the corresponding stand with it in the gray. That's really nice. That looks really good. We got a Northwest Airbus E320. This looks really good. It has a little bit of a paint fade and also a little bit of paint chipping and a chipped winglet, but who cares? It's all good for $5. I mean, that still looks really nice. So I expect all these to have that sort of damage for $5, but they don't. Another one that's in really good shape is this US Airways Boeing 757 in the Navy livery. You can see that it looks really good all throughout. It has a couple of slight paint chips on the nose, and then the A up there also is a little bit chipped up. But ultimately, for $5, absolutely not complaining. That was super awesome. We got the AirTran Boeing 737-700 SkyMarks. This is an awesome deal. Again, I would say this is probably worth $40. So the fact that we got it for $5 is truly sensational. Really nice model. Super glad to have this in the fleet, and it looks really good. No box for any of these, as you would probably expect. We got over here a big flight miniatures American Airlines McDonnell MD-11. Gorgeous plane. It turned out really well, so very glad to have this in the fleet right here, and this will be a powerful asset, so very glad to have that one. And last but certainly not least, our second and final Hogan for today's video, we have an Air India Boeing 747-400. Let me see if I can get a little bit more of that in the frame. Gorgeous plane. It was supposed to have landing gear, but unfortunately, again, this guy just brought these all in a box. I couldn't find them. But luckily, still a really cool model right here, some really great detail. And again, we'll take a more detailed look at that in a future massive unboxing, so stay on the lookout for that. So there's the 1-200s, very glad to have those for the flight miniature section. That was really awesome. Next up, we're gonna take a look here at these 1-400s. These came out in massive unboxing 43. We got a National Airlines DC-8 with a trade with Aviation LAS. It's a really cool model, it looks really good. So again, the full review is in that video. So check that out if you'd like to take a look at that, but ultimately really nice. We also have a Aeromexico doubles DC-8. I'm thinking it's an 11 or 21. Again, not particularly sure, but it is Gemini Jets in a limited edition. So that's pretty cool, and I thought it was certainly worth the trade. And we also have this gorgeous Phoenix 1-400 Lufthansa E340-300. Really cool model. I've seen it several times at Dallas and Denver and other places. So this is too good of an opportunity not to get that particular aircraft. Certainly glad to have that. Okay, I'm gonna tell a story about the Polar and LATAM 1-200s, because you're probably wondering why I would spend that much on those two particular aircrafts. So first and foremost, those will be getting their own individual videos, so stay on the lookout for that. They are really nice. But what I would like to talk about with those is that there was a personal vendor there that I also got the Shabaks from right here, and a couple of other items that we'll see later. So he started off the day, you could just tell they kind of wanted to get rid of some of his aircraft, which is understandable when you have, I think he had like 1,000 of both 1-400 and 1-200, so I can kind of understand as to why. So he started the day by selling these at $80, which already is a steal by itself. The LATAM and the Polar easily retail for over 125. The Polar probably closer to 175. So I was like, all right, this is already a good deal. I'll come back later. So I did. And then he said they were $70. So I was like, all right, this is perfect. So I'm going with the Polar, I said, because it has the interactive features and a little bit better value since it's a little bit bigger, but I like the tan better anyways. So I was like, all right, that's good. The Polar's still a really great deal. So I only have 100 in my wallet. So I'm like, man, I hope I can make change. So I gave him the 100. I was like, hopefully you can make change. And he said, you can pick any other model off the table if you let me keep the 100. And I said any model by picking up that Latam, and he said yes. So I felt bad because obviously that was a tough deal on his spot to lose that much money, but I got two 1-200s for $100, 50 a piece. You cannot complain with that, and we'll talk about that more in that video, but a huge testament to why airline collectible shows are an absolute steal, because I literally just got $300 worth of 1-200s right there for a third of the price, $100. So cannot recommend the airline collectible shows enough. Absolutely killer. What a stunning deal, and certainly very pleased with the progression right there. S tier effort, really happy with that. So that's absolutely awesome. Very nice work right there. Okay, really cool. Again, we'll talk about that in its own video. We also got the Shabak models that I was referring to. So here's the Shabak 1-600 American Indy 11, 767, 757, and Indy 80. These will also get their own video coming up. So not their own video, but there'll be an unboxing coming up. So stay on the lookout for that. Again, I like to designate the models, but now we're going to get into the airline memorabilia. So very similar to what we did in the first episode of this with our various items on the West Coast Hawaii trip. We're also going to take a look at some other items. So first and foremost, I did forget some of the items from that video, so I do want to take a look at those real quick before we get into the items from this, because these are really cool and I did want to take a look at them real quick. So we do have some various Hawaiian Airlines cups in here. I don't know if I'll be able to get them out at this point, but nevertheless, there we go. So now you can see what we're working with. So here is two Hawaiian Airlines. So what they do on their 717 flights is they have these little jugs, which is really cool, like what ice cream would come in. So you can see right here, this is what the water looks like here on the top. It doesn't have Hawaiian on it, but that's all right. So I got water on them just to see what the label would look like. And then what they're really known for is this juice that they sell right here, which is really cool, very unique. So you can see the label right here, passionate orange guava nectar, contains 10% juice. It's really good. It's very good. So certainly was glad to have that, and that was really cool. So I got one of those there along with the water. Then we got some Delta cups here. This is from the 5-hour 767 flight. So you can see we got like 3 or 4 of them because they did several beverage services. So that was nice. Here is 2 more of those right here. Again, the labels are really cool, so they're worth the money by default. So that's nice. Then you got the 3 United cups. So this was from the 278 set, or this actually, now we are, let me actually finish the Hawaii trip first. And then also on the E330, they had these plastic ones, which are really cool. So they have Hawaiian Airlines on them, and then you can see what they look like. So these look really good. So I believe we got 3 rounds of this. So that was quite nice. Okay, now these Delta ones, I don't know how there's like 8 of them right here, but, oh, okay, this is what I had in my hand. Okay, so this was from the 767 once again. A couple of those might have been from the 175 and A321 flight. I can't remember, but nevertheless, close enough. Okay, now we're into this trip. So here's 2 Southwest ones. They're real simple, so I won't go into too much detail on them. But yes, I got like 1,000 of those. So nice to have those. We also got 3 Unites. Now these are really good. These are certainly worth saving. I think that they look really nice. So you can see they have the blue around them, and they also have United Star Alliance partner on them. So by default, worth $5 each. I'm kidding, but certainly very nice. Okay, now we're gonna get into the real items here from the collectible show, excluding the model aircraft. Starting right here with a Delta Airlines Boeing 747 in-flight entertainment unit. This is super cool. So literally the IFE that you would find on the aircraft, this is it right here. So here's the screen. It's like, I would say like 10 by, call it 4 maybe, 4.5 or 5. So that's pretty good. You also got the headphone adapter along with the USB-A. Then you also have the tab where it would go. And then let me show you the back here. I would really like to try to plug this in sometime because it does have an adapter. I'm not sure exactly what I could put on it, but it'd still be cool to see if it does function. So definitely interested in that, and need to figure out what the power supply is and whatnot. So that looks very nice right there. Again, really cool to get this for $5. So certainly think it's worth the deal. And that was really great. And then here we go. We'll start talking about the paper media here. But first and foremost, let's talk about these United Airlines earbuds. So these are really cool. They aren't very good. I tried to pair them. They're not very good, but it's still nice to have them in the packaging. And I also have here a Delta Airlines set as well. So what's really cool about these is they actually have the Delta widget on the actual earpiece, which is super cool. So this is absolutely awesome. They also have Delta Studio on them, so they look really good. So that was also from the last one, but I found it in my suitcase and did want to mention that I did have those, just forgot to mention them in the previous video. Now we're going to talk about the various boarding passes and safety cards that we have here from the LEX Collectible Show trip. So you can see here, here's our first flight, which is the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 from Tulsa to Denver. So you can see here all of that criteria, 4346. On January 19, 2024, we had 851 on that boarding position, so that worked out well, and what a fun flight that was. So very cool. This also was on Shotcut Spotting's Companion Pass. You also see where it says Companion right here. So it looks really good, and very glad to have it here. Southwest passes. We talked about the difference between the cardstock boarding passes and the paper flimsy boarding passes previously. All the Southwest boarding passes, kiosk or gate agent, are actual pretty good cardstock. So this is really cool, and very glad that they're really good on that. So that's really nice right there. Next, you're going to find the Southwest 737-700 safety card. These are really simple. You find these really easily. This is a January 2020 revision, so they're everywhere. They have the red tap on top, and let's take a look at the illustrations inside. So you can tell here they do a pretty good 737 illustration compared to Delta. There's this awful, but you can see here the various rafts. So you got 3 of them, 1 here, 2 in the middle, and you can see where they pop out right there. And then you got the detachable pieces, and you can see the rest of the illustration with the oxygen mask and the other various pieces. So this looks really nice. They did a good job on the illustrations here. I consider it S-tier effort, so that's really nice. Quite a bit on the rafts, so very nice. Back here, real simple. You can see emergency exit seating. That's pretty common for these. Portable electronic devices, and refer to Southwest Magazine for more details. I don't have the Southwest Magazine in this video, but I do have the drinks menu. So here it is, hi there from 35,000 feet. Looks really good right there. And this actually has some good information on it regarding the drink menu. So here it is. You can see the various drinks right there, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, so that's quite nice. You can order like a pro, and Southwest also provides free drinks on Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Southwest's birthday, and Halloween. So quite nice, and if you're interested in those faucets, you can certainly take advantage of them. So that's certainly very nice right there. And then it talks about the Wi-Fi, so real simple to use, that's quite nice. And they also talk about the Southwest Airlines Rapid Reward credit card, which I am a member of, so that's certainly very nice. Next, we're gonna talk about the United Airlines Boeing 787-9 flight from Denver to Los Angeles. So United Airlines flight 564 on January 19th at gate Alpha 31. Boarding was at 3 p.m. and we departed at 3:50, arriving at 5:20. Seat 51L in a window. This was a basic economy ticket, so you can say B, no carry-on. Luckily, I did not have any suitcases at that point, so that was great. Boarding group 6. Basic economy ticket. I've flown basic economy a couple times before, namely on American. I did American going to the DFW 2023, a one-day collectible show. Otherwise, I think this is my only other time I've done it so far. And I really don't care to do it again, but it was a $40 difference, so, and I knew I was gonna be able to go, so that's why we did that. Speaking of which, take a look at these gorgeous United Airlines Boeing 787-9 safety cards. So I have 2 of them here because we flew 2, but I was fortunate enough to get both revisions on this trip, so that was really cool. So revision 1 is my favorite. Revision 2 looks okay. It's just kind of goofy with the tile design. I prefer this globe. So revision 177-9 is also in really great shape. It says 78H on it too, which is really cool. Really great illustration of the 7.8 right there. That looks really great. We know the rest of the components. I won't bore you too much with that. Outside the oxygen mask dropping below there. We get the seat belts right there. All the rest of this looks really good. It's interesting how we got knives involved in this, but you know, what can you do? Just making sure that we're precautious. You get the rafts opening up there too. So yeah, this is really impressive. They did a good job with the illustrations in here. And again, the color looks really nice. You get the emergency exit row and the various FARs that are applicable here on the 7.8. And you also got some different languages, as these aircraft, of course, fly overseas very often. So that's revision 1. Revision 2 has some slight differences. You can see here where it's got the smaller globe. I personally like 1 better, but that's all right. So you can see 787 illustration still really good. The rest of this is pretty much identical. There's some small nitpick changes. They get add a couple. They don't add steps, but they're put in different places. So very similar in those regards, but it still looks good. So very glad to see that. And the rafts also get a little bit more attention on revision 2, but ultimately, again, very similar to backs, pretty much identical. So that looks really good, and I grouped those together. So revision 2 was got on the second flight. Revision 1 was on the first, so that was very good. Chris Slimmer, thank you so much for letting me buy some of your safety cards. Here's a Republic Airlines double DC-9 3050. This is really nice, and definitely buy some items from Chris. I always support Chris Slimmer. He is outstanding. So as you can see right here, the DC-9 has the really cool slide right there, so that's really nice. Otherwise, the revisions are very nice and bold, and this safety card in very good condition. Chris only sells good condition safety cards, so that's quite nice. You have the emergency exits and the various other pieces on here as well. The slides, really cool. Love the shoot pieces, and I think it was like $3, so I got a pretty good deal on it. So Chris, thank you very much. Love the briefcase illustrations as well. In the back, no emergency exits. We're just talking about the water evacuations in this case. So still very nice right there, and that's really cool to see. Then we have the Eastern Airlines DC-951, so you can see how much different it is compared to Republic. And again, keep in mind the timing of this was a little bit different. This one's a little bit newer. Also DC-931s. Now, in 1990s and 2000s, you would see more of these bigger ones, and then they reverted back to the smaller ones in 2009 era, around that time. And, it varied per airline. But American and Eastern, namely, had some bigger ones. You can see here how good that DC-9 illustration is on that. And you can see that they were using the chrome livery at that time because they actually have real-life illustrations. This is, to my knowledge, my first safety card for Eastern. But I think I have some American ones with some real-life illustrations, but not many at all. So very cool to get the Eastern chrome livery on there. And you can see how good of a demonstration they did. I wonder how much it cost to do that. So that's quite nice. But you can see here a good illustration. So good job on Eastern for doing that. And you can see the back also has some real-life pictures too. So everybody looks kind of frightened in that, but that's all right. It happens. There's the phone going off, so that's all right. All right, next up, we have an American Eagle ATR safety card. So thank you, Chris, for the plastic on that. So this one's in very, very good condition. So great job. Obviously, corner's a little nudged, so not bad. This is a little bit more typical. You can see here the A exits and how you're supposed to leave the aircraft. So that's quite a cool note from this one. Otherwise, it's really, really simple. The nose and the illustrations look really good. I'm surprised that they made the people gray, but hey, it certainly did the job. So still looks really good. So good job here on the American Eagle ATR safety card. And again, very glad to have this in the fleet. And I'll go ahead and put it back into the slip because why not? So there it is. Chris, also thank you so much for some freebie magazines, including the AvBuyer magazine, which has a bunch of opportunities for business aviation. I probably need to hand this off to Sean, to be quite honest. I probably will, so that he can have a fun looking at all these biz jets and whatnot, because this is certainly his expertise. But it goes into really good detail regarding which biz jets make the most money and, those various topics. So it's pretty good. You got some MD-80s in there, so that's really cool. And they talk namely about quite a bit of Falcons. It looks like Citations and Gulfstreams also make some good rounds in here, so that's quite nice. So yeah, this is a good magazine, and glad to have these, and recommend getting these if you're at collectible shows because they're all over the place. We also got another flying magazine. We saw these quite a bit previously, so here's the latest illustration. We know what's in these contents of these, and the articles are real good, so feel free to pause to read a portion, if any, if you'd like to. But you can see how good the illustrations are in the pictures and all of that, so that's quite nice. So this one looks really good right there as well. Our next item here, we're going to find the controller magazine. So what we're going to find here is a bunch of aircraft for sale. They look like they're pretty fair deals. I'm not a complete expert on plane prices, but they're a little marked up, but that's what you expect for a catalog. But you can see various locations and some mainly notably nicer aircraft. We're not finding many hunky-dory Cessnas in here, so still really good variety of aircraft for sale, though, if you're interested. Quite a few of them have call on it, which I think is quite hilarious just to get a conversation started, probably. But yeah, it is really cool to see these various aircraft. Again, quite a few Cirruses, quite a few Pipers. You do have some other various aircraft in here, too, but namely those and a few others. Good fair Cessnas, but yeah, Pipers and Cirruses really dominate this magazine, which is good. So very nice right there. And I don't know if I would say best pricing, but still cool to have that one there. Thank you, Chris, for yet another Kansas City International Airport terminal map. We've looked at this a couple times, so I won't look at this too far in depth, but I will give this the time to say, let me get the card for it since we're right here. We need everybody to attend Airliners International 2024 at the Kansas City International Airport. It will be from June 26th through 29th of 2024. And on the back here, you can find all the illustration. It's going to be a great time. Looking very forward to it. And it's going to be really, really fun. So definitely attend if you're interested. But here's the terminal map that all of you need to study if you are going to be flying in MCI. So looking very forward to that. And that should be really awesome if I can fold this correctly. So let me see if I can get this back in here. Very cool. Glad to have that right there. It's really nice. Followed by that, we also have the annual report right here for Flying Tiger Line. This is a really cool, it has a bunch of really good illustrations in it for their reports. So you can see here their income and some of the taxes that went into that, their routes. He had one in really good shape. he ended up letting me have this lesser condition item here. So, but again, it's still a really good one. It's got some good information in it. So hope to collect more items like this. At some point, I'm gonna have to read all of these at some point in detail. But when would I ever have time for that? So at some point, maybe we'll make some more videos on that in this video series. And here is a gorgeous Northwest Orient 747. I got this from the same guy that sold me the 1200s. So awesome to get to see that right there. And that is also really nice right there. And we also have this. This is a really cool book that I bought. This the Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson, a historic history airline service. You can see the various pictures here. Just look at the concourse and DC-8. The back's also just completely gorgeous. We have the Eastern DC-8. We have some various widgets lined up ATL, and we also have this DC-10 along with that gorgeous Pan Am 7.4. I mean, this is just an S-tier book. I won't take all the time to look through it because it really probably deserves its own video. So we might do a video on this too. But you can just see the quality of the images in here. Really impressive, dating back to the 1920s when the airport opened, and then all the way throughout, all the way to like the 1990s. So again, really impressive, and there's some really good information here. So very good to have this book in my possession. It looks absolutely fantastic. So take a look at all the Braniff, Eastern, and just all the great information in there. So it's really, really good. And if you're looking for any pictures in it, just let me know. But everybody needs to read this book. This is really, really good material. So again, very glad to have that right there. All right, next up, we are coming up on the return flights. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of those. Just a moment. Okay, now we're ready to get into those details. We'll start right here with the United Airlines flight from Los Angeles to San Francisco, which was supposed to be a 737 MAX, which turned into a 737-800. So United, thank you so much. Flight 447, January 21st, 2024, gate 85, boarding at 10 a.m. We ended up getting a huge ground stop due to the delay at the Grand Airport of San Francisco, but still a good flight and very much enjoyed it. So had a fun time on that flight. Then we also have the United 737-800 safety card. So this looks really good right here. This is the R1 revision as well. So you can see the illustration's pretty good. We did look at this one in the last video, which is ironic enough, but still glad to get to see it right here. And it looks really, really good. So that's quite nice to see. So good illustrations, very big on land evacuation since that's mainly where these are flying. However, there's plenty of information covering the water evacuations on this as well. So that's quite nice too. So next in line, of course, we got to Denver, and it is time to explain what happened with the return flight. So we also had the 787 flight to Denver. So that is the part that we're getting to. Sorry, I forgot about this boarding pass. UA 1823, same day, boarding at 1:35, and we left at 2:25. Economy 51A, very good flight, had a great time. It was an absolute blast. So that was really, really fun. Now we get into the Southwest flight. So here's what happened. We had really bad icing at the Tulsa International Airport, and due to Sean's discretion, we decided to stay the night in Denver, which kind of was an interesting decision. I personally probably would have went on, and if it was that bad, I would have stayed at the airport hotel, but we ended up getting a good deal at the Denver hotel, the True that is. It was really good, so enjoyed that, and that certainly ended up working out, so that was all right. But unfortunately, as a result of that, that put us in C15 on this Southwest Airlines 737-700, which was absolutely not going to work, and that just wasn't going to cut it. So what ended up coming out of this is that ended up not being the full boarding pass. We ended up getting A1 through 15, and that moved us on to this boarding pass, which had the gate at it at this point, C58 on the Southwest 737-700 as well. So same flight, however, this time it has A11 on it. So that's what we love to see. So as you can see, 2764 leaving at 305, and it was a great flight, very much enjoyed it, and we made it back, but we still had to stay another night at Tulsa due to still bad roads. And that's mainly getting back to my home in Cushing, but nevertheless, what can you do about it? So that was what it was. But we do also have the 737-700 safety card to go along with it. We already reviewed it, so I won't get too much farther in depth. They are everywhere, so get one if you haven't. And I got a couple more memorabilia items here before we wrap up this video, including the snack mix right here, which is quite nice. I love these, so very cool to get to keep one there. This paper right here goes into the full details regarding the A-list upgrades, so that was quite nice. And then we also have some various napkins over here for Southwest and United. So you can see they are pretty beat up, but you get Dreamliner tails and more earbud cases. And the Southwest one is somewhere in there. I don't know where it went. There it is. So yeah, really nice to get to have all of those as well. And last but certainly not least, we also, from the guy that sold me the 1-200, gave me a nice big UPS sticker. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That was really, really nice. So I'll go ahead and set all these items up, and then we'll take a final look at all of these. And again, really good haul here, and certainly very happy with it. So let's go ahead and organize this, guys. Alrighty guys, here is all the collectibles right here. Got all the boarding passes along with safety cards and various items over here. Looks really great. And then I also forgot to mention all the flyers that I got here. So we got San Francisco, Dallas, Los Angeles, the summer show. It's already back to double yearly at this point, which is awesome. First summer show since 2019 is coming right here on June 1st, 2024. Looking very forward to that, so that'll be awesome. Airlines International Kansas City, as we talked about, along with the Newark Airlines show. So all these have cards. So if you do want an LAX one, feel free to let me know, and I would be more than delighted to send one your way. So let me know where you want to meet up. Anyways, we got the cups right there, the 3-1 to 400 right here. We got all of these SkyMarks right here, which are looking absolutely fantastic. So super glad to get to see all those, the flight miniatures, the Hogans. So certainly really nice to get all these. And again, those will all get their own video. I also forgot to mention at this Delta Airlines double DC3 for $10. So I'll be sure to make a unbox that with these. It's got to be set up and all that, but it looks fairly straightforward. So looking forward to that. The 1-200s are awesome. Got the Delta 747 in-flight entertainments. All this looks really great. So let me know in the comments which part is your favorite. I'd be eager to hear. But nevertheless, looking forward to it, and I hope all of you are as well. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Redriveraviation is signing off.